Today we're going to be talking about water bath canning. My name is Matti Cornelius and I am the Whitley County Family Consumer Sciences Agent. Today we are going to be doing some pickles, and you want to make sure with anything you're making that you wash your produce well. You are going to cut your slices, or you're going to prepare your fruit or vegetable how your recipe recommends. So here we are doing spears. You can also do slices. Even with your tomatoes, you'll want to crush, or you can do those whole, but you want to make sure you follow your recipe. To sterilize your jars, you will need your water and your water bath canner hot. You will put your empty jars inside the water bath canner with the hot liquid as it's boiling. Use your jar lifter to lift the empty jars into the water. Make sure you submerge them, that way they don't float, but also making sure that they're far enough apart to where they can get in the boiling water. This will help make sure that your food is safe and your jars are clean. If you see that your jars are not covered with water, you can add water now. When you are ready for your jars, remove your lid and take your jar lifter. Remove the jar slowly. It will be full of water. You want to carefully dump the water out. Be careful, as water is extremely hot. And you want to make sure that you put it on a surface that heat can withstand. Also, make sure that you wear shoes so you do not dump hot water on your feet. So make sure they are closed-toed shoes, but dump all the water back into the water bath canner and set on a heat-prepared surface. When all the jars are out, make sure that you return your lid on your water bath canner so the water can come back to a boil. According to your recipe, you will fill your jars with the proper fruit or vegetable that you've prepared, cut, sliced, or crushed. Make sure you pack them in there tightly. That way you don't get any air bubbles. There is no chance for them to float, but make sure you get as many as you can in your jars. Be cautious as the jars are hot. Your recipe will tell you how much headspace to leave. Measure your headspace according to your recipe. It should say anywhere between 1 inch and 1/4 of an inch. This is the space between the liquid and the lid. You will also want to remove air bubbles by pressing something gently down into the fruit or vegetable to remove the air bubbles, and then adjust your headspace accordingly. This can make your liquid fall to below the headspace line, so make sure that you are removing all the air bubbles, especially in smaller vegetables. Wipe the rim of your jar, that way a good seal can form on your lid. Anything that sticks to the rim of the jar will not help it seal. Put the rings on hand tight, then lower your jar into your water bath canner. You do want the water covering the jar. You want to measure and make sure it is 1 inch to 2 inches above your jar. If you need to remove water, that's okay. Replace your canner lid so the water can return to a boil. Your recipe will tell you how long your water bath canner needs to boil. Make sure you follow that recipe and start timing when the water comes to a complete rolling boil. When you're done, remove the lid away from your face so the steam doesn't burn you. You want to make sure you use your lid lifter because the water is very hot. Put the jars on a proper surface because they will be very warm. Take all the lids out flatly. Do not dump the water off on the top because that could break your seal. Make sure that you do lift these out flat, as the temptation to get the water off is very great. When you have the jars on a proper surface, you can wipe off with a towel the extra water that's on the top, but you do not want to dump those. So make sure that you're being careful because that water is extra hot that's on the top, but you can dry those off. You will know you've been successful when you hear this sound. Make sure with any canning you do that you label what it is and what date that you made this product. This will help you into knowing how long you've had your product on your shelf. but always make sure that you label very clear with a Sharpie or a label. Thanks for watching.